Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Timwe Presents. Today we're going to do an unusual hybrid here because we have a puzzle, duck, which I have had tremendous difficulty with, and I think I have figured out a great part of it, but I still have not finished it. I still don't know what the answer is, so I have decided to do the rest of the puzzle here on the video. So I'm first going to walk you through all the parts of the puzzle that I already know. Now obviously, as always, we have our answer code ready, which we can use later to check our answer, but before that, let's see. So the puzzle, here's the flavor text. There are many things we could have done with these cards, but of course we chose duck. I don't know what that is a reference to, but anyway, so this puzzle deals with a fictional card game where the cards look like this, and the beginning of the puzzle explains that every card has a value which can be determined according to some rules, and the puzzle only gives you sort of vague hints as to what the rules are. So for clubs, for example, it says the lucky clovers helped us out. I guess we'll see later what this is. Diamonds apparently has something to do with the discard pile, and spades has something to do with odd numbers. Okay, oh yeah, and clubs have something to do with even numbers. That's interesting. So the puzzle then goes through a kind of story in which two players, you and Mark, play this game called Duck. And then at the end of this entire dialogue, we are given the sort of end state of the game. Throughout the dialogue always refers to cards by their values, so we know that what values are involved, and it never refers to what the cards look like. And then of course here at the end we only see what they look like, and we need to determine what their values are. So the purpose of the dialogue really only is to help you figure out what these rules actually are for determining the card values, because you compare the dialogue to this image at the end that shows you what cards were actually involved, and then at the end you just calculate the card values, the values of the cards that you see. So here is what I understand the rules for the card values to be. So first of all, the hearts rule, which says this one is easy, a 10-year-old could get this. Well, obviously that suggests that the number 10 is important, but what you gotta figure out is that what this means is you add 10 to the rank of the card. So for example, if it's a jack, which is 11, you add 10, you get 21. Which reminds me, I totally forgot to mention that these cards actually have a standard rank and suit, which you first need to determine from what's actually visible on the card, and then you translate that rank and suit according to the suit rule into a value. So for the club cards, this rule applies only to the even rank, so 2, 4, 8, 10 and queen. All the other ones are literally just the value of the rank. But for the even ones, the lucky clover, well, a lucky clover has how many leaves? Well, 4. So it's as similar to hearts, so you do the same thing, which is plus, but instead of 10, it's plus 4. So for clubs, it's plus 4 on even ranks. Diamond says, I would recommend checking your discard pile. So for diamonds, we have plus the number of cards in the discard pile. And then for spades, it says this one is a bit odd. So once again, only the odd ranks are affected. But what do you do with the odd ranks? Well, it says backwards. The answer here, the odd ranks obviously are ace, 3, 5, 7, 9, jack, and king. And the answer is you reverse their order. So an ace, which would normally be 1, is actually king, which would be 13. The 3 is becomes 11 for jack, and then basically like this. Okay, so I think that is what spades is. Right, furthermore, if you follow the entire story, then you can easily figure out what the size of the discard piles are at the end. And it turns out that you, the player that is shown at the bottom, have 6 cards in your discard pile, and Mark has 4. So that leaves open the question as to how to actually interpret what these cards are. What are their ranks and suits? So let's open this up, make it bigger so we can see it. And so some of these graphics may remind you of a specific module, a specific KTANE module that deals with cards. It's the deck of many things. And it turns out that each of the, so there are 4 different types of cards. There is these sort of hexagon, sort of beehive kind of shaped cards. Then there are the ones that look like they have a rank and a suit, but I'll tell you now that's a bit of a decoy. Then we have the one with hands and dots, and we have the ones with red and gray stripes and numbers. So let's go through these in order. As we scroll through this manual, we will find this diagram here, where you have a suit in the middle of the diagram, and then you have 4 suits around them. Well, it turns out that these cards that seem to have a suit and a rank, the rank is actually correct. The rank is as printed on the card. But let's take this one here. The rank is actually underneath the suit, not like usually above the suit. Like this one here looks like a normal playing card, right? But the king here is under the clubs suit. So we look at the diagram where clubs is in the middle, and because the king is sort of pointing down, it is actually the suit that is down in this diagram. So that would be a spade. So the second card here is a king of spades. Okay, after that, if we go back to the manual and scroll down a little, the next section labeled Arctic Deck presents us with 2 tables which want a number of batteries and a number of ports. Well, this is where the cards with the lines and numbers come in. It turns out that the red part of the card refers to the number of batteries, and the gray part of the card refers to the number of ports. And in fact, the horizontal lines tell us which row in these tables to use. So let's use the left card as an example here. The 3 red stripes means that we're looking at 3 to 4 batteries, and there are 0 gray stripes, so we're looking at this row. And then the gray 1 means that we're going 1 step backwards or leftwards from the right, so this would be hearts. And we're going 6 steps leftward from here, 2, 4, 6, that would give us a 2. So that is actually a 2 of hearts. Now I'm quickly going to write that down so I don't have to do it again. There are 3 cards in between, which we'll get to later, but that was a 2 of hearts. So let's just put that there. Okay, now let's scroll down a bit again. Here we have a section labeled Tropical Deck, where we have these sort of honeycomb shaped things. It turns out that the number on the card, which in this case, let's take this as an example, is the 8, refers to the quote-unquote column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're looking at the column starting in that honeycomb. And as you can see, it zigzags right, left, right, because you have to look at this upside down. It looks like it's going left from this perspective, but if you turn it around, it would go right. So we're actually looking at this arrangement of hexagons. And then, of course, the highlighted one is the one that it is, which in this case would be the Queen of Clubs. Alright, so the first card in this arrangement is actually the Queen of Clubs. Okay? And then finally, as we scroll a bit further, this is where we see the hand, and it refers to serial number digit total, but this is not actually enough. There is one extra step that we need to figure out. So I'll just tell you what that step is. Basically, you take the number of dots on the cards. So let's take this example here. You have 3 dots. And then you multiply that with the number of hands. So that's 3 times 1, which is still 3. And then you need to add... alright. So yes, this is what it was. So you get the number 3, and you look that number up in this table. So you get 0, 3, and that would be a Queen of Diamonds. Okay. So this is the third card. That would be a queen of diamonds. So now that we've explained them all, let's go through all of these cards and determine their ranks and suits. So this next one here, let's see, this one has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 20, 23 plus 6, 27 dots. So that would be a 27, which we can find in this table, and that seems to be a 7 of clubs. The next card, I might have miscounted. Yeah, I did miscount because this one here, yeah, okay. So the next card is the 2 of hearts. And then the one after that is once again the one that uses the batteries and ports. So this time, so I just noticed that the number 1 here is actually sort of facing in this direction, towards the viewer, which then suggests that this is not actually a 6, it is in fact a 9. Which means that I need to recalculate this. It may not be a 2 of hearts anymore. So let's start again. We have 0 ports and 3 batteries. And this time we want to go 9 steps in the batteries, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And 1 step from the right here. So that's actually an 8 of hearts, if I haven't made a mistake. And then the next one, whoa, I didn't even know I could do that. So we have 2 batteries for this one, so let's highlight that, 1 port, and we go 1 step in the batteries table and 4 steps in the ports table, and that is a 9 of hearts. Okay, so that is the first bunch of cards on the top. Now let's do this bunch of cards on the right here, which is of which there are 6. So the first one here we have, how many red lines is this? There are 6 red lines. And the number, now that we know that it faces us, is a 9. So we have 6 batteries, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That is an ace. Then we have 3 and 4. So we want 4 ports and 3 steps from the right. Gives us hearts again. So we have an ace of hearts here. Then the next card after that is the honeycomb shape, and we look at column 13. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. I should have known that it's the last one, because of course it's going to be 13 by 4, which is the number of cards in a normal deck. And we want the third one down, so that's actually a jack of clubs. Whoops, a jack, there you go. Then we have, I keep clicking on this, then we have this ace of clubs, and the ace is facing down, the same as the king did. So let's take a look at that diagram where clubs is in the middle and we're looking down, so that is actually a spade. That is in fact the exact same thing as we had with the king. So let's put ace of spades there. So that was the third card. The next card, now this one obscures the number. Interesting, yeah. So we can't actually use the shape of the card alone, but we can still make some deductions here. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gray lines. And let's see how much of this I can deduce. So that's more than 5, or 5 or more rather. And we have 4 batteries. The number of batteries is 12, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So it's a 3 of something, and it turns out that all 4 suits here, so that the number of ports doesn't actually help, because every row has 1 of each suit. So we don't know what the suit of this card is. We'll have to figure that out later. By which I mean that, you know, we can guess, like we can try all 4 suits and it'll give us 3 different values, and then we can guess which one's the right one based on the context. Alright, let's take a look at the 11th column of honeycombs. Where's that? That's here. And we're looking at the third card down. That would be a 3 of clubs. So here we have a 3 of clubs. And then finally we have this thing. Now this may be a bit confusing because you can't see the other corner, right? So if you look at this card from the other side, the jack will actually be on the right side of the heart, not the left side. So let's look at this. The right side of the heart, we have a spade, so that is actually a jack of spades. Alright, and then in the second row we have another 6 cards. So I'm just going to put that right under here. Let's count the dots on this card. We have 4, 8, 11, 13, 15, 19, 23. So we're looking for 23, that is a 5 of diamonds. The next one is the 8th column of honeycombs. 2, 4, 6, 8. And we want the third one down again, so that is the 7 of clubs. Next one we have something that looks like an 8 of spades, but this time it is pointing up, and pointing up from spades is indeed spades, so that is in fact an 8 of spades. And then the next one, as far as I can tell, that is 5 dots, but then you have 2 hands, so I'm guessing that is a 10. So looking at this table, the 10 gives us a 6 of diamonds. The next one is a 3 of spades, right? What's left of the diamonds. So that would be a 3 of spades. 3 of spades. And then we have, I keep clicking on this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 6 is 11, times 2 is 22. 22 in this table gives us a jack of diamonds. Okay, so that's those 6. Now those are the cards on Mark's side. So now let's look at the cards on our side. Now this is Mark's side, which has a discard pile size of 4. And then the U side has a discard pile size of 6. And this is, we actually have several cards. I should have realized that there are actually 4 cards which have the 8th honeycomb, so I could have abbreviated this. Where is it? I keep losing track of what's where in this manual. So 2, 4, 6, 8, that is indeed this column. So the first card here is the last in that column, which is a 2 of clubs, right? But then we also have one that is a king of clubs. That is the one right underneath. And then, right, that's all of the 8s. I guess we'll do them in order, so we'll get to the others later. The next one, now since this number is under the club, it will have been rotated, so I'm gonna say that is a 6 and not a 9. A 6 of clubs. Underneath the clubs means that is a 6 of spades. Let's do that. And now we have this batteries and ports thing again. We have 2 batteries and we want to move 3 forward, so that is a 2. And then we have 4 ports and we want to move 3 backwards, so we get a hearts. Okay, so that's a 2 of hearts, excuse me. Right, then we have the honeycomb that is before the 8, so that would be this one. And we want the second one in that column, that would be an 8 of clubs. The next one, more dot counting, let's go. This is 4, 8, plus 5 is 13, 17, 20, 24, 24 plus 5, 29, 33 plus 4 is 37, 37, 37, that is a 2 of diamonds. Okay. And then the next one is apparently a 7 of whatever is to the left of the diamond, that would be a spade. So that is the first row here done, and then we have 4 cards underneath that. We've already determined the first one is a king of clubs. Let's count the dots on this one here. There's actually quite a lot. I'm going to count these in columns, that might be easier. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 12, 13, 16, 19, 22, 26, 30, 35, 38, 39, 42, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 42 plus 9 is 51. So I'm guessing that the creator of this puzzle got a bit unlucky that so many of these are prime numbers. Actually, that's not true. 51 is not a prime number. So you could have had 3 hands on it to multiply by that. Anyway, 51 is in fact the 7 of diamonds. So we're going to write that down. Then we have the second column here on the bottom. We have a 10 of clubs. I'm going to use T for 10 so that it all still aligns. And then we have Here we have a card with 3 hands, so you could have used 3 hands for this one, right? It would have been 17 times 3, would have been easier to count. We have 6 times 3, that's an 18, and that gives us a 8 of diamonds. Okay, that is those 4 cards done. And then we have another row of 6 cards here. We got 3 batteries. Then we have 2 steps, so that's a 6. And then we have 1 port and 4 steps. 4 steps mean from the right means here. 1 port, I think that's right. That would be a 6 of hearts. And then the next we have a queen of spades. Next we have, that is 9 and 1. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 10, yep, 13, okay, and that one. So it's a 5 of clubs followed by an ace of clubs. And then we have 4 hands times 8. 4 times 8 is 24. 32. 4 times 8 is 32. I'm glad I checked that. That is a king of diamonds. And then we have a 9 of spades, right? Whatever is left of diamonds is spades, so that's a 9 of spades. And finally, we have the discard pile. I don't think that we need the card that is shown on the top of the discard pile. That is probably only to for you to verify that the last card that was discarded has that value, so it helps you deduce what the rules for the cards are. Alright, so now that we've got all of this, I'm going to turn all of these cards into their respective values. We've got our rules up here. So let's do all of the hearts first. Right, we want to add 10 to all of their ranks. So this is an 18, this is a 19, this is 11, this would be 12, 16, 18, 19, 11. Yeah, why am I doing everything twice? I specifically took a copy of this so that I still have the originals down here. I'm going to put a line here like that to remind myself. Okay, so that's all of the hearts done. Now for clubs, we want to add 4, but only on even ranks. Let's find ourselves all of the clubs. So this is in fact an even rank. It is 12, so we add 4 to get 16. 7 is not even, so that's just a 7. That is also not even. That is also not even. Not even. This is even, so we add 4, we get a 6. We get a 12, and this is 13, which is not even. 10 is in fact even, so adding 4 gives us 14. And then 5 is odd, and 1 is odd. Okay. Next, I'm going to do the spades next. So king of spades is actually an ace, which means 1. Oops, sorry, the ace of spades therefore is the 13. The jack is a 3. I'm looking at this table here while doing it, so you can kind of eye this table while I'm doing this. The 8 is an even number, so that stays 8. 3, as shown by the table, is a jack, which is 11. 6 is even, that stays. 7 is 7. It is odd, but it stays because, you know, they line up. Queen is 12, which is even, and the 9 is a 5. Right, and then finally we have the diamonds rule, which takes the discard pile into account. So we need to add 4 on all of these diamonds and 6 on all of these diamonds. 12 plus 4 is 16, 5 plus 4 is a 9, 6 plus 4 is a 10, 11 plus 4 is a 15, 2 plus 4 is a 6, 7 plus 4 is 11, 8 plus 4 is a 12, and finally 13 plus 4 is a 17. And now we have lots and lots of numbers. What do we do with these? Well, all of these numbers appear to be in the range 1 to 26. I still don't know what this value is. I said that we were going to try all 4 ranks, so let's actually quickly do that. The 3 of hearts would be a 13. The 3 of clubs would be a 3 because clubs only affects even ranks. If it were diamonds, it would be plus 4, so that would be a 7. And then if it were spades, it would be 11. Okay, so whoops. So that one card could be any of these. All right, let's turn these into letters now. 16 is a P, so that's A, P, and then that's a G, That does not look too promising. 18 is an R and an S. Of course, it's possible I might have made a mistake somewhere. 11 is K. This doesn't look promising at all. 13 is M. So this would be either M, C, G, K. That is a C, that is a C. That is an H. No, it's not. That is actually an I. This is a G. That is an H. And that looks like it could be part of a word. But then we have a J, which again is not promising. Yeah, I should probably do this. And then 15 is O. Okay. Right, let's continue with the rest. Maybe this reads something out. 6 is F. Yep, that is an F. That is an F. That is L, L. F again and G. And here we have an M, K, N, L. Yeah, there is no vowels in that, so I'm not sure what's up with that. This is P, L, E, A. Ooh, this almost looks like it spells out please, but 17 is Q. Let me check the King of Hearts. King of Diamonds. So King is 13 plus 6. 13 plus, that is in fact 19. So that does spell out please. Since all the rest does not seem to spell out anything, let's just quickly check if please is in fact the right answer. So we check the answer with this answer code, and that is not the right answer. Okay. Aha. Okay, I think it's papers, please, but let me just quickly verify that the 7 of clubs, is that even a 7 of clubs? That was the fourth card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 13, 17, 20, 23 plus 6. 23 plus 6 is 29. 29, that is an ace of diamonds. I got that completely wrong. Apparently I miscounted by 2. So diamonds obviously, so ace is a 1, right? And diamond says number of cards in the discard pile, so we add 4, we get a 5, and it does in fact say papers. So let's try that. And that is the right answer. So that means that the other cards here don't matter. It's entirely possible that the story hints at that, in which case I just didn't notice it, I guess, while reading it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. This was the duck puzzle. The answer is papers, please, and I hope that you enjoyed this puzzle. And as I've already alluded to in my previous video on the puzzle called Meta, we've now covered all of the leaf puzzles in this hunt, which means that we now have all of the feeder puzzles, the feeder answers that we will need to solve the metas. So stick around for the meta puzzles that will come up in the KTANE Puzzle Plethora soon. And until then, I will see you again on Timwe Presents.